We were born before the wind, also younger than the sun. Hey, yeah, the bonnie boats is one as we sail into the mystic. Now hark, now hear the sailors cry, smell the sea and feel the sky. Let your soul and your spirit fly as we sail into the mystic. When the foghorn blows, I'll be coming home. When the foghorn whistle blows, I've got to hear it. I never have to fear it. Lord, I got to rock your gypsy soul, just like way back in the days of old. And magnificently you will flow into the mystic. Gypsy soul, just like way back in the days of old. And together we will flow as we sail into the mystic. Sail with me, Billy. One more time for me, Billy. Come over here and rock my gypsy soul, just like way back in the days of old. Oh yeah, too late to stop now, yeah.
All right, folks, welcome back to McGold-Riffs. This is episode 33. And I'm very happy. We're doing a little bit different today. We're doing it with a great singer by the name of Tony Parente. And Tony and I have been friends probably about 15 years or so. If you know anything about the greater Boston music scene, anywhere really from the North Shore of Boston up in Salem, which I've actually played with you up at Brody's up there, all the way down to Rhode Island, anywhere in between. If you've been involved, if you've been out there, if you've been going to talk to see live bands, you have seen or heard about Tony, the Tony Soul Project. And so it's great to have Tony on board here today.
Thank you, Billy.
And looking forward to it. And we're digging back, man. We're digging into the old days, and we want to, I don't think enough of us out there really know the real Tony Soul here. Roots. And so we're going to get into the Tony, again, we're not talking age here. We aren't talking ages, but both of us have gray hair.
Absolutely.
We also remember the Eisenhower administration. Someone asked me how old I was the other day and said, I go back to the Eisenhower administration, and the young kid didn't know who Eisenhower was. But Tony has got a couple of years on me, and he's a post-World War II baby. And so that really, I always try to find out, ballpark, how old a musician is, what year, and then what year were they 15, what year were they 20? because that changes who they are and what kind of music they're listening to. And Tony's generation was a generation right before me, and so we'll get into that. So Tony, tell me about the beginning. Where were you born?
I was born in Milford, Massachusetts.
And we go
Proud of it.
way back of the Milford town. A great friend of ours, Ray Arger, runs a great music scene there. And God, we used to play the Tradesmen. Tradesmen, unfortunately, burned down recently. And that's where we all became friends. So, but you moved soon after that to...
When I was 5, my dad had a job in Framingham, and we bought a house. We moved out of Nana's house, where everybody lived, and we moved to Framingham, three doors down from the ball field.
Yeah.
So as a 5, 6-year-old, kid growing up, I was really into sports. And when 1956, 57 rolled around, Elvis was on the scene.
That was the spark. What's that, the spark?
Little Richard was on the scene.
Yeah.
Okay, and I was just enthralled. I was mystified by what I was seeing. Okay,
Why?
Well, it was the excitement of it. Okay. Seeing Elvis on stage, playing a rhythm guitar.
One for the money, 2 for the show, and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, and there was so much going on, and that progressed, through the integration period, and soul music became the new blues, if you will.
Right.
Okay, Motown, Stax Records, all those people. And I was just into it, okay, at that time in high school.
So we're talking 10, 11, 12 years old, which is the time most of us really, for some reason, I used to teach middle school music, and those 7th, 8th graders, they were about 11, 12, 13 years old. And even today, Tony, music is here for those kids, just like it was for us. As much as we like to think things change, they really don't. The big things don't really change. So take me from there. Did you when did you start singing?
I didn't sing with a band or anything of that nature until my senior year in high school.
Senior year.
That's
long. So you're like 17, 18 years old.
I never pursued anything, okay? And these 2 brothers, the Smith brothers, believe it or not, they approached me, okay? They flagged me down and they said, we need a singer for our band.
How? How does that happen? Did they know that you sang?
They heard me singing. They must have gotten a referral from somebody, that said this kid can sing, okay? And I'd never sung professionally. I just knew songs, okay?
Yeah.
Because I had, that record player in my bedroom when I was it really took off between the ages of 16 and 17, because I was working then, and I'd bum rides into Boston, go down to South Washington Street, down to Big John's record shop, and buy all these tunes, okay, that I had now accumulated. That no one had ever heard back here, okay? Because they didn't listen to WILD.
Were you singing at home at sophomore year, junior year?
Sure. Oh yeah, absolutely. And like I said, when I got into it, I didn't know what I was doing. I probably still don't know what I'm doing, okay? Compared to the musicians.
We are going to show some videos of his band live. You're going to see the ultimate, consummate front man, the pro guy in our area. You're going to see those in a little bit, okay?
So getting back, the Smith brothers brought me in, and we started rehearsing in the basement.
Let me interrupt you. Are they still around?
Archie is. John died tragically, and that's one of the reasons why I quit music.
I want to get into that.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Smith brothers bring you in.
The Smith brothers
What
bring me
was the
in.
setup? Was it bass, guitar, drums?
Yeah, guitar, bass. Well, Archie Smith played the keyboard, so we were lucky to have the lead guitar and keyboard player be brothers. Then Dave Bernard from Framingham was our drummer, very artistic drummer. He was so artistic that he had to be replaced, okay, because it really wasn't the soul. Okay,
right.
That's when Tony Soul was born. So I want to,
You like that 2 and 4, 1, 2, 3, 2, 4, and he was more, sort of artistic. He wasn't
jazz oriented.
The backbeat that we all love, right?
Yeah. So John was doing some military time, if you will. As a boy, his dad put him. He saw John was getting into some trouble. John was a handsome
What year were we,
kid.
64, 65?
This was 1966.
66, okay.
66, yeah. And John and I became instant friends. Okay, he was
What was
just
the
a
name of the band?
magnificent spirit. Tony Soul and the Midnight Hours.
No way.
After Wilson Pickett.
Yeah.
And we do all those Wilson Pickett tunes. We do the Percy Sledge song. Okay, when a man loves a woman.
When a man loves a woman.
There you go. Yeah. But you had to sing it real high, So all those hours that I put in myself in my bedroom.
Yeah.
Came out on stage. The band kind of took off. We had like a 2 or 3 year run, okay, where we were playing.
Post high school.
Post high school. For me, they were still in high school.
Right.
Some of the places we were playing, we weren't allowed to go in as a patron, but we could play in there as an act, okay, and we had to be under, wraps, until I turned 21.
Where? What places? What towns?
The Intermission Lounge in South Washington Street in Boston, which isn't there anymore. We played every quote unquote mob club from here to Rhode Island and up into New Hampshire, because we competed in the Battle of the Bands back then. Okay, and that was our big thing. We loved to compete.
Where was that?
Oh, it's Marlboro. We were down in Braintree, the state finals in Braintree. Finally, we made it to the state finals at the Boston Garden.
No way. You played the Garden.
Dave Maynard.
The original Garden.
Remember Dave Maynard?
Absolutely. From, what was the name of his show?
It was WBZ. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And it was community auditions.
That's right, community auditions, yeah.
Yeah.
We never appeared on community auditions, but he was the MC for that show, and he was broadcasting live, from...
He was like the Matty Siegel of that
from
time.
the venue.
It was a big deal. Yeah.
And he said, I've just seen Tony Soul in the Midnight Hours, and they're a shoo-in to win the state championship this year. Well, here comes a stagehand, and we're going through our whole act, and you had a time limit. Okay?
Right, of course.
And he's giving me some hand signals. I thought he was telling me to stretch it, so we stretched it. No, we blew it. We ran overtime. Okay, and we were dropped from first to fourth. Okay, because of the violation. But that didn't stop us. So we said, oh, we got a booking agent now. Dumb kids. Yeah, well, it was a connected booking agent, which had us in just about every mafia club around. And then John died.
And he's not kidding. I mean, a lot of those clubs were... I used to play the channel, and there'd be guys with shoulder straps.
Yes,
you could
sir.
See,
yep.
And they would say, you have 5 minutes to get your equipment off, and they were not asking.
No.
They were telling you, and you had to get it off. And they get 6 bands on a night at the channel. So you're playing.
Yeah.
What tunes are you playing?
We're playing a lot of the same tunes we're playing right now.
Really?
Okay.
Any originals back then?
No. Well,
did you try
here
to
and
do
there,
the recording contract thing?
It never transpired. John, the lead guitar player. You know how close I get to guitar players.
Right,
okay?
right. We'll get
nothing,
into that.
I'm nothing without you guys. And as far as the guitar players are concerned, they're what I am. Okay. And when John died, he died tragically. You see, this
He
is
was your best friend too.
John was one of my best friends. Okay. But I was starting to wind down, and I was 235 pounds back then. Okay,
it's hard for me to believe
on
that
a 5'6"
you used to have a slim, right?
Yep,
Slim.
yep. And I carried that for 60 years. But
Wow.
I didn't have the stage presence that I have right now because of the optics, and I understood that.
So you felt like insecure because of that?
Yeah, quite a bit. And somebody came up to me. I said, "You're going to have us back." He goes. And he said, you really have no sex appeal, okay?
Yep.
And that, so with that and with John gone, I said, I'm about to get married. I got married at 22.
Let me interrupt. So did John die coming from a gig? Or?
Yeah,
No way.
he had, the Barcades from down in Memphis and Stax Records.
Yep.
They were the horn band of Booker T and the MGs. And John had got a break to play with them in New York City, or they needed a guitar player.
Yeah.
He went down there. He was so good that they came up to Massachusetts. We're playing a gig on the North Shore. John's coming home from a gig after their gig, and there was a high-speed chase on 128 South, and John was driving a Volkswagen Bug. That's what he drove back then.
Those little things.
And he got rear-ended and
oh my God,
killed. I had a nervous breakdown over that.
Really?
Yeah, I did. I was married, just a 22-year-old kid, and I went into a deep, deep depression. Probably the worst depression I've ever had. I know that my own my own personality is manic depressive. Okay, I get these tremendous highs and sometimes pretty bad lows.
Right.
Try to keep the lows out wherever I can.
Yeah, let me interrupt you. I've been through that with a close friend of mine. Unfortunately, I did a big benefit for him about 15 years ago. He took his own life, and I learned a lot about depression. It's a clinical thing. It's a real thing. It's not suck it up and be tough.
No, it's not.
No, it's something you can be there, but you can get help.
You can.
Through. So, I'm doing the math here. I'm talking 69 is about when that happened,
exactly,
right?
Yeah,
69 for you young kids out there.
Summer of Love.
It was just the music time. It was Woodstock. It was Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. It was Santana. The Who. Music was
everywhere,
and we've never seen anything like it since.
Nope.
I mean, the Beatles. That's right around when Abbey Road came out, a year before they broke up, and so you walked away from music that year.
Yep, in 1969, and I didn't come back until 2011.
Okay, so we will make that jump in a second. So, but again, a lot of us who've gone through this road, and this whole show is about trying to bring people like Tony, massively talented people, and for what other reason, it's not like an Eric Clapton or someone like that, but do we have the talent? You're going to see the video. In fact, let me interrupt right now. We're going to add the video right now. This was done 2015. It was at Fireflies, shot by our good friend Adam Signore. How do you say his last name? Signore?
I just call him Big Al.
He's a pro. So, and this is with 17 horn players. How many horn players do you have? The horns in this are unbelievable.
Well, the Valvatros horns, the four horns, plus Jeff Giacomelli. I think we had 5 on
Jeff
stage.
was there too, yeah.
Yeah, so the Valvatros horns, led by Stephen LeClaire, they were fabulous. Okay, they played with Steve Going, Wilbur and the Dukes. And they had their own thing going. They were absolutely fabulous. And he had a night off. He said, "Can we come down and play?"
Because it can be expensive when you hire them. So without further ado, take a listen to this. Them Changes at the Fireflies 2015. Okay, that was fantastic, and I love the horns, and I love Jeff. Jeff is my buddy. Yeah. I love Jeff. And, since we're doing videos right now, why don't we do the second video here? And the second video is going to be what's going on? What's going on?
Oh,
so we will go to that video right now.
We
Okay, folks, we are back from that, and so Tony.
Yes.
What year is it? 69?
What year is it?
So let's do it from easy math.
Yeah.
So 1970 to 2000 what?
11.
2011. That's 41 years.
It was actually broadcast as 42 years, but who's
42
counting?
years.
Yeah.
Let's think about this. You didn't do any music during that time.
I didn't sing professionally for 42 years. Period.
And I want to skip over other portions of your life. You had a family, and we've
Yeah.
all done this to the young musicians out there. This happens. You get married, you want to buy a house, you want to get your kids through college, you got to work in what we call the straight world. And the straight world is very alluring. It has benefits, a steady paycheck every week. You can pay your mortgage. And what happens to a lot of us, I did the Rock and Roll Rumble, which was like a battle of bands, and when we lost and we blew everybody away, but we came in last place, I realized I better, focus on my computer career, which is what I did. But I was always playing gigs. I was always playing gigs on the weekend. Music was always, but lately music is completely my life. So there's another portion of Tony's life. I mean, your love for softball. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Right after we got married, we moved into our second apartment, and it was a garden-type apartment complex. And here comes this flyer around. Would you like to join the softball team, the men's softball team?
Because he was a good athlete as a young kid.
Growing up, yeah, I was.
In softball, I don't know if you had the same. When I was a kid, softball was this wimpy thing. Guys throw the ball like that. It's like, that's not baseball.
Oh, it was hard.
Did you have that version? Did you have that vision before you got into it?
No, it was just an activity, and some of the friends would come. It was an activity like tennis and whatever, and that's the way I took it. But somewhere along the line, I won a championship on an undefeated Little League team. And it always stuck with me. Well, that started to grow and grow and grow.
Did you go to like the Little League World Series type thing?
No, we didn't make it there, but locally we were.
That was a big deal in Framingham.
We were hot, yeah, because they get players from different teams. Okay, like they have. It was like an all-star team, and I don't know if they do the same thing in the Little League World Series now, but yeah, I had a number of softball teams. They were all hog or pig related. Because
the name of the teams?
We had the
Hog Stars,
the Hogs,
the Pigsters,
the Big Pig. We had the Swamp Pigs. We had Hog Fellas 2000. To celebrate Goodfellas 10 years.
And
as a movie.
And you're an umpire to this day, right?
I still umpire. Yeah.
Can't you see, folks at home? You don't want to upset this umpire because this umpire will get in your face.
Oh, well, let them have their bark, okay, and I'll tell them, okay? Let them bark at me, okay? I said, all right, I heard enough from you.
Cool.
Okay?
I don't want to get too far down there because we only have so much time here.
Sure.
So, what'd you say, 2011?
2011.
2011 comes along. What happened?
What happened? This is what happened. My friend John Rizzoli from Framingham, he stayed in touch with me. Keyboard player.
Still around?
Fabulous musician. No, he died from an overdose. John played all those years, okay?
Yeah. He kept on doing it.
I saw what it did to John. He kept pestering me. Come on out, let's go see a band. So we finally went out and saw our friend's band. I'm not going to name the name of the band, okay? Because this gets a little weird, okay? And, so John and I went to a place in Shrewsbury. And we saw the band, okay, and they had a pretty good crowd there. We were standing out by the doors and so forth. And I looked down and I said, John, this band sucks. I said, so as soon as I said that, a big guy in back of me is looking down. He goes, "Who do you think you are?" In a little different type of verbiage, if you know what I mean. Okay.
Yeah.
And I said, "I'm Tony Parente." He goes, "Tony Soul?" Nobody called me Tony Soul in quite a while.
Yeah.
This was Tom Barati, okay? Tom Barati is a drummer from One Way Out, played with Dave Amato, who's playing
he's a famous guy with
out in
Styx
REO Speedway.
Speedway, yeah.
And they were the band that followed our band as the high school band that everybody wanted to go see, okay? Because we were still a high school band when we got out of high school. He says, we rehearse down at Richie's basement every Sunday. You want to come down? So I said, I'll come down. after softball, umpiring softball, go down
Sure.
there, sing a few songs. Well, great guys, absolutely great guys. But, they were just playing for the love of playing.
Yeah.
I got the itch. They started taking me to jam sessions in 2011.
And that's what I know of your history, is jam sessions all over.
All over. Yeah.
You did Jim Rockwell's recently,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Jimmy's down there in Rockland, Mass.
Yeah.
He has a great jam, and I'll give him a plug. He has a B3 organ with a Leslie on stage, bro.
Right.
Okay. He had four B3 players there on Sunday.
Oh, we did. And that's unusual.
It was dripping. It was dripping.
So go on. So these guys didn't want to play as much, or
no? Well, we forgot more than we learned. Let's put it
Right.
that way. It was
Yeah.
we were that old. They were battle tested. They may have had some issues back in the day and so forth. Great musicians, every one of them. Okay, but some were hard of hearing. It got loud. And this that, the other thing. So going through the jam circuit, so to speak. It was a
Right.
25-mile radius around my house. I figured, hey, target marketing, your sales, do that. It's not that far to go. And we happened on the Acton Jazz Cafe one night. And
right? That used to be a great place.
it did. And Franny D'Agostino's Tuesday night jam, Fran D'Agostino, was amazing. Franny was a fabulous musician. We've lost so many over the course of
In
the
the
years.
past 10 years, it's been
it's
brutal.
really crazy. Fran has left us. Wilbur's left us. Brother B left us. Brother B left us 3 days after he played a gig with us.
I saw that. I saw that on Facebook.
It was heartbreaking.
That's why we got to keep going
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
So go on. So it gets more and more serious, right?
Yeah, it got more
you
and
start
more
showing
serious.
up to tradesmen.
Yeah. And
Those socials.
so up down there, and I really got into the people down there. They were fabulous people, and my wife Sherry loved the place. Okay, and,
And we all love Sherry.
Yeah, Sherry's a doll, and she does so much for the band. Her videos are just amazing, and everything else. She draws a lot of people there, and we started off in 2012 when Bob Kramer, okay.
Yeah,
Bob,
I know that guitar player, right?
Yep. He called me one day and he said, "Tony, I want to start a band."
Mm-hmm.
He said,
What year?
That was 2012.
Okay, so it was right
So
after.
it was right after, yeah. And Mike Calendarian was available. Matt
Right.
Sambito was available. Phil Delane, the drummer, was available. And Bobby Kramer.
And we got a bunch of pictures of those guys in the various
And
shots.
we started
right
the
now.
Tony Soul Delta Blues project.
Yep.
And everybody said, it never last. Well, it didn't last that long.
But did you go down to Nashville or something like that?
I did go down in 2015. I just went down solo because my buddy Dana Bonatti was down there. Dana is a tremendous drummer and he's a fantastic kid. And he says, "Come down and visit." And I was footloose and fancy free in 2015. So I hopped on a plane, went down and saw him. I made some good friends down there. I hope to go back very soon, as the schedule will allow. But we were rolling and cruising from 2012 to 2014. Then we started adding some horns.
Yeah.
And the horns started to develop.
That's the videos you saw earlier, guys.
Soul,
Yeah.
the soul music. Because once the guys started learning the old songs, you don't know how I feel. Beautiful stuff. Stuff that they hadn't played before.
Right,
And it gave them such a
Because they were
thrill.
younger guys.
Yeah, they were. And so I started slowly bringing a lot of the stuff to them. Mike Calendarian, a guitar player, has a great background in the soul music. Okay?
He's a great guy, a humble guy. I got to get him on this show. Mike, the offer stands.
Yeah. He's got to get out of work.
I know.
Yeah. That's why we really haven't blown it down to Florida. We get all these calls from Florida, to come on.
But he's got
down.
a real job, yeah.
Yeah. But he's got a real job. Henry's still not. He's not retired, and James Thomas has his own teaching business here, which is off the charts.
Right.
And they're also getting some opportunity with a young guy. And
So give me some stats. How many players over how many years?
oh my goodness.
So we're talking 2011 till now. So that's 11 years, right?
Yeah, I would say, and I've got like a list here of 100 plus.
100 plus different people have come, and I've done a few of those gigs.
They've come through. You know, I'm looking at the list right now, and it's just amazing. You know, cousin Johnny, who played with my cousin John Erkin, who played with the Trans Siberian Orchestra.
Oh yeah,
kid was a wizard. And he passed away early, before 50. I mean, there's so many here. I could go down a list, but let me tell you something. It's like a who's who of local music and local musicians.
It's a rite of passage to play with these guys. So play with you, Tony. I hope you know that, man.
Well, I love it. You know,
yeah,
and,
I mean,
it's like a ball team. Okay, I put ball teams together for years.
And you remind me, who was that? Who was the manager of the Cardinals? A crusty old manager for many years.
Dusty Baker?
No, Bucky.
Buck Showalter.
Yeah, but he was kind of like that when he's playing with you. Actually, we're going to play a video of you and I right now playing up at Brody's.
Okay.
And we'll just do about a minute of this particular video.
Sure.
And it's like Jeff Giacomelli does the solo before me, and then you sing something, and he points to you. You got a solo, and I'm looking up to say, when's the solo start? And he says, do another one, and then I'm doing it like that, and then he says, go like that. It's like, you know, it's a Bill Belichick coach there, you know. When you're on with Tony, and I'm not saying he's a hard type guy, but it's just, you know who the field general is.
I'm just a singer, you know, and I have, you know.
But you're the show.
I talk with my hands, you know, because I'm Italian, and, you know, sometimes I might be ordering a pizza instead of giving a cue to the band, but that's all right, too. No, you guys have been fantastic. Actually, you know, with Henry and James going on, you know, doing less gigs with TSP going forward this year, Steve Barbuto, who is the drummer for Commander Cody and the Lost Planet Airmen.
Let's go back, though. 2015, 2016, it's always you and Mike.
Yeah, always.
And again, it's like a football team. Every year there's a different kind of lineup, right?
Yeah, you got to expect change. You got to manage the change.
But I think if you do, like, how many gigs a year?
Well, we were going strong. I would say we did 140 one year, okay? And, you know.
Think about that math. 52 weeks.
That pared down to, you know, like 100, 120. Then COVID. That played pretty steady, you know, 100 to 120. Mm-hmm. And when COVID hit, we counted every barn, every driveway, everything we played, and we were out probably 45 times in 2020.
Did you get some criticism for that?
Yeah, a lot of backlash.
Yeah, meaning you were being irresponsible.
Oh yeah, of course.
All that sort of stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
How'd you handle that? Tony has a temper.
Well, let's put it this way: you try not to think about it, and you just move on. Okay.
Right.
You know, they're gonna whoever they are. Okay, and I won't say who, of course. They have their own feelings, and they're entitled to their own opinion. I have an issue right now with the number of annual rings on my ankle.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Annual rings on it. You can count how old a tree is if you count the annual rings.
See? I'm not that Mr. Nature, you know?
So, you know, I'm conscious. We talked about this earlier. I'm conscious of my musical mortality at my age.
Mm-hmm. Talk about that.
Well,
what does that mean to the folks at home that don't really get?
Well, it's very simply, when you come back into the music business at age 66 as a lead singer and frontman, and it's 10 years later, do the math. I'll be 75
And
years old.
round math, 100 gigs, 10 times, that's 1,000 gigs.
Yeah.
Probably 1,200 gigs.
Maybe, whatever. I haven't counted, but I have kept the calendars. Okay,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I have my calendar written. I still write everything down. I don't use any computers to tell
Yeah.
me where I'm going right now.
That's all right. You got people for that, right?
Oh, and I can scratch it off a whole lot easier here if something
Yeah.
changes. So now, you know, I would say I'm paring back a little bit. Okay. I'm going to be
Energy?
a little more selective. Yeah, the energy. You know, to do a high energy show where you're doing, you know, Johnny Be Good at warp speed.
Yeah.
You know, by Johnny Winter. And anything, you know. I mean, we do it. Just do it. Okay.
Yep.
And if I got to sit down, I got to sit down, you know, after the song or whatever. But I'm aware of it.
Just so, again, I do a lot of acoustic gigs. They're a lot easier, usually, and they're a lot shorter, and they're a lot earlier. So a lot of my gigs are 6 to 9, 7 to 10. Band gigs, in general, start later, 8
They
or
do
9
start
o'clock.
later, and
They'll
I-
go 4 sets. So
Well,
your average place...
No, I'm not going to do that, okay?
Oh, no more
I
4
tell them right up
sets?
front. No.
3 sets?
No, 3 sets.
What time are you ending, Tony?
I like a 3-hour gig. I love the 7 to 10s now. We played a lot
Me
of 6
too.
to 9. We did play one in Newton on Saturday night. It was an 8 to 11:30.
Where in Newton?
At the Legion Hall.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we like playing the Legions
You
and
play
the
a bunch of those,
VFWs.
right, yeah.
Yeah, give back, you know.
Yep.
They sacrifice for us. The least I can do is
I
sing
went
a
through
song
your
for 'em.
pictures there. You had a great picture with about 3 Marines. They were all sergeants. You could
Oh yeah,
tell.
they all about 6 feet 4 inch tall. You know, I should have got a soapbox to stand out. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Tony's hole's down there. Yeah. Hey, it's what it is. That was a Toys for Tots night.
Yeah.
It was a great Toys for Tots
Yeah.
night. Yeah.
So you're not like the average gigs over the years, ending at midnight to 1
Yeah.
o'clock. Takes an hour to break down your stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
It is. Yeah.
So you're leaving at 2.
Yep.
Average gigs an hour away. You never know.
Home
But
at
if
3.
you do 100 gigs, you work out the mileage. It's usually about an hour. Some gigs are 5 minutes. Some gigs are 2 hours.
It's true.
So you're driving home on a Saturday night, 3 in the morning. People are drunk on the road. It's very, and you're tired.
Yeah.
I've been there, and I don't know if Sherry helps you with driving, but I've been there where.
No
what's
more
that
of those.
noise that crackling? Oh, that's the side of the road. Wake up, Bill.
Yeah, no, none of that. We got a good relationship with the places we play now. They're not fools.
Did they
know-
change for you?
They have. Well, they've changed because of the pandemic. Okay.
Right, the world's changed because I played for years in the city when I was a kid till 2 in the morning.
Right. Exactly.
Getting home at 4.
Yep. Oh yeah. Yep. And then go to an after party and stay out all night.
I did that a few times.
Yeah, so did I.
Anthony.
It was something else. You're dead for 3 days. But you'd play these clubs Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. You'd start Thursday, play a Thursday night gig, Friday night, Saturday night, and do a matinee on Sunday.
Yeah.
And you were dead by Sunday. Dead.
Yeah.
Just dead. But, you know, so much younger back then.
Are you trying to cut it to 2 gigs a week? Like 100 a year?
Well, you know, I'm doing what I can do. You know, we developed a lot of outdoor gigs in people's backyards, which, you know,
Those are the best.
were very good. Okay,
And we are both available for your backyard entertainment.
That's right. Acoustically, 2-man, whatever. But no, it's true. That became a market. Okay, if you can get something that gives you 8 to 10 gigs a year, in
Right.
you know, outdoors. Plus, you know, we started getting known a little bit up in New Hampshire and down in Rhode Island. But, you know, coming back as late as I did, I found that most of my friends, you know, were in bed by 8:30.
And I'm younger than you, and my friends won't come out for the most part. For the most part.
Yeah.
It's just the nature. So Tony went through a whole phase, and I was part of that phase where, you know, Bill, what are you doing on Saturday night? I need a guitar player.
Yeah.
And then, like, and I always felt like you really needed to work on being in a situation where the guys were all rehearsed. And then,
Yeah.
and sometimes I like the insanity of like, what's the end and where we're going with this? But it can get you after a while, and you eventually went to a full-time unit, which you had for what, the past 3 years?
The past 2.5 years, yes.
Okay, so 2.5 years. Tell
Yep.
me about those guys, and
Well, we
tell
had-
me how that went.
it developed that Matt, our bass player, was on his way out. He had moved up to the North Shore.
He's a North Shore guy, yeah.
And Henry James, who was kind of dormant at that time, became available, okay? And we played some gigs together, and I drove him lunacy crazy like I do with all my musicians, okay? And he asked if he could be the musical director of the project at the same time that I sat him
So the
down.
genesis of making this a solid single unit was Henry.
Henry. Yeah, it was Henry.
And I don't know Henry that well, but I've met him. I've played with him somewhere. Liz's, I think.
Yeah.
Some gig we did. I forget. It was one of those award ceremonies.
Oh yeah,
great guy.
Yeah. He is. He's a fabulous guy.
And so that was him. And then you had Jeff Thomas.
No. Jeff Giacomelli and James Thomas.
James Thomas, right?
Jeff Giacomelli was our first real horn player. Okay, back about 6-7 years ago. He carried the load.
Yeah.
And he could sing, and you know.
He's a showman.
Yeah, he is. He is.
He looks cool. He has those Kramer from Seinfeld type shirts that he always wears. That I think are cool.
Fabulous shirts. So we went together with that, and then Henry brought us down into Mike's basement, Mike Calamarian's basement, and we rehearsed. And we got very tight. We got very.
There's
very
nothing
tight.
like making a band. When it's tight, it's like a football team.
Yep.
You know, or a baseball team turning a double
Tough
play.
to deal with. Okay, they know what they're doing. Okay.
Right.
And you know, we'd put our own little nuances in it, and they were absolutely able to transpose what I was saying to them into music.
And that's great.
Okay, because again, here's when my new children that had never played soul music before, and they're playing soul music.
And I've heard you mention that I'm not a musician, I'm a singer. And that's what you were talking about, translating. Good musicians can work with a person like you and understand, oh, he means this here. In our language. And then you got a Henry to translate it to the rest of the guys. And let me ask you about the band a little bit more. I don't know, outside of looking in, you guys all seem to like each other.
Oh,
is that true or not?
There's a camaraderie here, okay? We've gone through many, many changes over the course of the years.
Yeah.
With Henry and James not being available to us as much going forward, we have to tap on replacements. Okay?
Right.
And there's no shortage of replacements.
Right.
If I find out at noontime that James and Henry aren't available for a gig, I can have that filled by 2 o'clock in the afternoon easily.
But they're not rehearsed.
Oh, no.
So, you know, you tell them the tunes.
Learn the tunes. Right. Come on, you're professionals. That's why you're playing with us. So, you know, just with Steve, who knows more about music than I'll ever know, the drummer, we just have to have a meeting tomorrow on nuances, okay? Stops and starts. And because he's a professional drummer.
We earlier played the videotape of you and I up at Brody's, and there was one of your original drummers, the black guy there.
Oh, Phil Delane.
And I was watching Phil, because he watches you like a hawk.
Oh, yeah.
Because you do this, boom, boom.
Oh, yeah. Boom. He's right on it, yes. He has a rock and roll background. He actually started, he and Chris Turp, who you know, started a
Chris
band.
Has been on the show, yeah.
Started a band together, a 3-man band, and they were fabulous, you know. And I don't know why they never continued, but I went to hear them.
I think Chris lives out this way, and I think that guy lives up north, right?
Yeah,
so
he does.
That's always tough.
Yeah, that is tough. But what a
So
drummer.
you got this guy, Steve Barbuto.
Yeah, Barbuto.
And tell me about him.
Steve, again, lives in Natick.
Right, so he's central to this area.
He's good friends with our buddy Sandy McDonald, the keyboard player.
Right, I've heard about that. I think I played with him at your wedding.
Yeah, yes. Well, you and 39 other musicians.
How many? You had 39 people play at your wedding.
40. I advertised the group as the 42 musicians.
Yeah.
At Tony Soul's wedding, it was pared down to 40.
And it was amazing.
It was.
It all sounded great.
Oh, I had 2 musical directors that day.
Yeah.
You know, the late Steve Going and young Mike Lynch.
I don't think I met Steve that day. You know,
Steve was behind the. He was behind. You know, Steve's a New York guy. He every gig he played with us. Okay, he had these sheets and sheets. You know, if it blows, you know, you get a gust of wind, his life's gonna blow away. You know.
So the current band, who's your go-to bass player now if Henry's not around?
If Henry's not available, James introduced me to Mike Berkowitz from
whom I don't know.
Haverhill.
Is he the guy you played with last week?
Mike's the
long hair.
Yeah, long
okay.
gray hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, they call him the Wizard. He's in the vein of Jaco Pastorius.
No way.
Yeah.
That heavy in jazz.
Yeah.
But does he got that R&B feel to
Oh
it?
yeah. They call him the human jukebox.
Uh-huh.
So I just get what I need to him, and he'll get it down, and he'll do it. And that's and so he and Steve met for the first time on Saturday night at the gig.
I've done that many times. You show up and it's like, hey, how you doing? Let's
doing?
1,
Yeah,
2,
all right,
3,
yeah.
4.
No, it's true. It's true. That's what we are. I mean, I must have done something right because.
Now, do you still have the other guitar player who does slide with you?
Yeah, Danny Clark. Danny Clark, by all means.
He's a consistent member now.
He's a pretty close, consistent member. There are some gigs we have to go with 4-man because of economics.
Yeah, it's just the nature of our business sometimes.
He's your go-to. What a fabulous guy. He lives up in Pepperell.
I know Pepperell.
And
that's a haul. That's up there.
He has a business in Connecticut. So do the math on that. This boy's on the road.
Yeah.
Okay, so... but he loves to play. He loves the band, and he'll be. Michael is finally taking some time off on Sundays, so that'll create more opportunity for Danny on Sundays where I do features here and there or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a consistent one out in Warren, Massachusetts with Dan Bungie.
Don't know him.
Oh yeah, Dan Bungie's a drummer, and he's got a great jam going on.
Yeah.
It's really developed out of the closing of the place Dunny's in East Brookfield. Do you remember Dunny's?
No.
They had a fabulous jam out there run by Paul Provost, a great keyboard player. And he had Ronnie Umet. And all these guys have played with us, okay? All I have to call, got the date open? Yeah, I'll go to somebody else, okay? Right down the line. They're right over here.
So what's 2022 look like?
2022, I have to put the word caution on it, okay? Because we are, as everyone else is, we're subjected to whatever we're subjected to. Let's just leave it at that, okay? So caution is the word. The places that we've played that are top-notch places, they're booked for the year, between 4 and 6 gigs a year. I have a monthly gig in Framingham. Mm-hmm. I have a monthly jam.
Bob
Scott's Cafe.
I've never been over there.
Oh, it's just a little hole-in-the-wall Framingham place.
Yeah.
I needed a place in Framingham.
Yeah.
It's North Framingham. I'm comfortable with it.
Yeah.
I'm a South Side boy. I know what happened in the South Side.
Yeah,
okay? And, it's North Side, bedroom.
Yeah.
Okay? That's South Side.
Yeah, I'll come out to that gig one of these days.
Yeah, come on out. Yeah.
So 2022, it's what I've found in 2022 is I'm sure you try to do the same thing, is when someone books me a new place, I say, I really want to get booked 12 times. I want to get booked monthly.
Yeah, sure.
So the first Friday of every month is taken. The second Friday.
Yeah.
Third Friday. And I try to, I'm noticing people don't want to do that. They'll go 2-3 months out to May.
Yeah, they go six weeks.
And we'll see how it goes. Yeah. And there's all that iffy thing. It's like, in our business, nothing's guaranteed. Someone will book you 6 months ago for this Saturday and cancel today.
Yep.
And that's just, what are you going to do?
Adjust your schedule.
That's
what you do. That's what you have to do. You can't force anything upon any venue owner at this point. They have enough problems of their own.
So what does the rest of the 2020s look for Tony?
What
is your goal?
It's one day at a time for me right now.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
If I get a break, and who knows? Okay, there might be something in the works that I can't really reveal right now.
Okay.
If that takes off, I don't know. There may be something bigger than just playing local venues.
Yeah.
But I appreciate playing local venues, believe me.
I do
love
too.
The people.
I played a place up in I'm playing up in Salisbury because I just love to play all over the place. Mm-hmm. And a football game was on, so people were focused on that. But the place was full. Mm-hmm. The place was full. But we'd end the song. I'm with a great female vocalist right now. We end the song. It's like. And it's exactly that sound.
Yeah.
And it's like, is it us? And then, but one guy, my point about doing it, Tony, one guy and his wife came up and said, you guys were amazing. Mm-hmm. And kids at home, There's always somebody listening.
Yeah.
Always someone listening. And as a musician, you want to make money, you want to work too. That person could have a nice backyard party.
Right.
And I don't know how many times I've done that, and it's worked out for all of us involved. So again, I could be home on that Saturday night watching football, and that's fun.
Right.
But to me, just like what you were saying about the 2020s, and I'm a little bit younger than Tony, I don't know when this is over. I don't know when these are going to stop. I'm happy today that I can still do it. And you got 8 on me. And
I saw Mortality when I went to see Johnny Winter in his later years.
at Foxborough over here?
Foxwoods.
Oh, okay. I saw him at Foxborough.
Yeah, no, this was Foxwoods in the casino, and went down with one of my young ball players at the time.
Yeah.
Okay, and they lead him out. One guy's on one arm, one guy's on the other arm.
I saw it, man. Same thing in Foxborough.
Sad, shuffling him in, sitting him down. They put he looked like he was going to fall asleep. They put the guitar in his hand, and he burned the place to the ground.
It's the same thing. It used to be a great place over here called Showcase in Foxborough. He always was a big guy, 6'3", 6'4", something like that. He couldn't have weighed, and this was the year he died, couldn't have weighed more than 70 or 80 pounds. He was very
thin.
Well,
he was
they
albino.
sit him down into a lousy little chair, right? Yeah. He gets down and goes, yeah! And he went nuts.
Yeah.
And I said, I love it. But I know what you mean by that. And it's like, one last story. We're going to play one more tune here. You know Vince Guaraldi? Remember from
Cast Your Fate to the Wind.
He was
Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown. He died young, 47, 48 years old.
Did he really? Yeah.
And he was at a gig, Tony. Oh. And he went out during a break, probably to have a cigarette or something like that.
Sure.
Passed away, heart attack right then and there.
My God.
And I know that sounds horrible, but I don't know if you feel the same way. I'd be good with that. If my last thing is, I got my stuff, and I just finished a set, and that's my last breath, I'm good. So, folks, it was great to have Tony on the show today, and I don't know who we're going to have on my calendarian. Hopefully, we'll get you one of these days. But it was really so. We're going to try this funky version of Eleanor Rigby that I came up with, and a curveball for Tony here, and that's about it. Again. Any questions, just email me, bill@billmcgoldrick.net. Trying to get more, if you know of anybody who wants to be on our show. Love to have them, and I love to focus on the people who are doing it in this area. So you ready for this, Sim?
Thank you, Billy, and I'm going to dedicate this song to my lovely wife, Sherry. She loves it.
Eleanor Rigby picks up the rice in the church where a wedding has been. She lives in a dream, watching the window, wearing the face that she keeps in a jar by the door. Who is it for? All alone. Where do they all come from? All the lonely people. Where do they all belong? Now, Father Mackenzie, writing the words of a sermon that no one will hear. No one comes near, looking at him working, donning his socks in the night when there's nobody there. Who does he care? All the lonely people. Where do they all come from? Say all the lonely people. Where do they all belong? 1, 2, 3, 4. How the lonely people look at all the lonely people. Eleanor Rigby died in the church and was buried along with her name. Nobody came to Father Mackenzie, wiping the dirt from his hands as he walks from the grave. No one was saved, all the lonely people. Where do they all come from? All the lonely people. Where do they all belong? Lonely people. Where do they all come from? All the lonely people. Where do they all belong?
See you next time.